Hello everyone, I am Luke, and welcome to the 128th battle of the Promethean Directive Season 2, which is an attack on what I've been calling the Chorus Capital Complex. They actually lost their capital several turns ago, and this is instead the concentration of cities that they have left. This was such a large battle that it got split into half, so first we're going to run my half of the battle, and then the half the Slowboy ran. And of course, both those battles were long enough and slow enough to deserve voiceover, which is why I am here. We've got an acceptable number of dragons in this one, just 3, with some more to spawn later, maybe. The 3 nations that are included in this half of the attack are Umamasue, visible there, Mjaltir, visible over here, with the Serenity ramming allies as always, and also Sword of the Ecclesiarch, who are on the left flank in the distance there. And they were the ones who brought in those relic dragons. And then on the defensive, Chorus have 1 Hive Capital is a big building there, as well as 2 of each of their normal defenses, and then a big land fleet which was stationed here. This guy has a big pack that has been decoded, well, I was going to say decoped. Actually, it has been mimic-coped down to just a little eyeball of the surface. For Dylan is not wise yet in the ways of decorations. There are, as usual, some sandworms, but they're stuck in the water, and I don't think we'll manage to do anything in this one. Yep, there goes the next wave of dragons, for I think a total of 9. They got brought in 3 in one wave, then some more further back, then some more further back. Which worked out well. This wasn't terribly laggy in-game. It did take like 20 minutes maybe, but that really was not bad at all for how big of a battle it was, 20 or 30. And Slowboy's side of the battle took longer. Because I think he had a lot more small spam stuff that lagged the game. Or it could have just been lower DPS on the attacking side. Because in this one, it took us quite a while to get down to just like the capital and a few other buildings, whereas in his battle, which you'll see shortly, it was just the capital for like half of the battle, and I sped that part up to like so much faster speed, and it still took forever. Yep, there's the Sword of the Ecclesiarch ships, and then back to look at some of the Mjaltir ones. Sword, Mjal. There's one of the Serenities with evidence of its previous manslaughter, which has decided to stop moving lest it kill any more comrades. The Uma ship, meanwhile, has taken some damage, not a catastrophic amount, but definitely noticeable. And all of the remaining Uma ships have beached themselves, the Nice Natures, possibly to escape the wrath of Serenities from their allies Mjaltir. Yeah, you can see we're moving at a solid quarter game speed. And at that point the capital finally got killed, and now the dragons are doing funky stuff to the centipedes. Alongside the other small number of landcraft that are left. But this one is certainly wrapping up and will be done with shortly. Just gotta take some time to despawn things and beat up the last of the centipedes. And the underwater sandworms over there. But they're pretty quickly getting too damaged or health below 80%. Sorry if you're getting any background noise. My gaming chair right now is a really nice rocking chair / glider thing that does creak a little bit. But it's so nice and comfortable just to be able to rock here while I'm editing or gaming or whatever. I am getting a proper chair. I should bring it home this weekend. It'll be more like your traditional sturdy office chair. But that is it for this battle. Next for the other half. Some damage did get dealt initially to some of the big guys, like the Mababa craft, due to previous battle damage. But yeah, now everything is going to be moving along with a somewhat wide view to start. There are 2 of the big Mababa drone spawner ring things, which are in the rule set have proven definitely not legal nor wanted for lag reasons. And then you've also got a pretty laggy Mr. Hands there. And then on the other side you've also got some crabs, which tend to be laggier. And a bunch of stuff like the wasps, which are laggier by just being many of them. But obviously with the hands guy and with all of the drones from the other Mababa craft, it's easily explaining why this lagged so bad. This is the first time that I've seen most of this battle, because I only kind of glanced in a couple times because we were filming them live at the same time, just for economy of time reasons. Yeah, in this one you'll very quickly see that all of the lesser defenses get stripped away, and then the various land craft also get killed relatively quick. You'll notice, oh yeah, so for the order of battle, on this one we've got Mabaraba and Erewhon attacking alongside Krasnar. Not Krasnar, nope, not Krasnar. Zaftra. Easy to mix up, alongside Zaftra. There's only one of their ships spawned in right now, which was a clerical error on my part, telling Slowboy a misleading thing. But the rest will get spawned in shortly. Funnily enough, though, that guy, despite being in the battle from the very beginning, and as you can see, having crabs go right up next to it, only takes like 1% damage. So he managed to beach, get practically meleeed by crabs, and was consistently one of the largest targets close to the enemies, and took 1% damage, probably just from grounding. It's some impressive durability on him. Also, I appreciate you filming Slowboy, but you obsessively checked the AIs, and I edited those out just because I don't like the interruptions of them. I may have left, I think, one AI check-in just so you can see the healths, but normally it's just an interruption that's not the most conducive to a steady viewing experience. So if you're paying attention, you may notice the occasional little snap cut, like right here, where a few things jump slightly, or the camera moves a little bit, but generally they end up being pretty clean cuts. There you can see the big Mababa drone builders hanging out at long range. And again, that guy's literally getting like meleeed by those guys. Obviously they're not meant to be melee, but he's getting close to rammed by them, and it still vibes at 99% health. There's some of the wasps. And at this point you can see the Mr. Handsman is dying, and there were some questions at this point in time of, are the attackers actually going to throw this? But especially once the Zaftran reinforcements arrived, that was a lot less likely, which I believe they just did. And yeah, at this point in the battle, there are still some wasps left, and a couple other, I think one defense which is despawning. But pretty much for the rest of the battle, it's just the slow burning down of the big hive fort, with a bunch of like Mahawks on the periphery and all of the ships at long range shooting with their cannons. And I feel like the Mababa, like the big Mababa craft, didn't actually get their pack drone spawned in. That may have been a battle setup issue where they the drones didn't get put in the right folder, which is another reason why those kind of guys are annoying, because you have to carefully make sure that the drones, which can't get submitted through the blueprint bot because their names will change, you have to specifically get their blueprints and put them in the correct folder, which is usually just the base blueprint folder. But yeah, I know some of the blueprints got put in the right place, but those must have been missed. And yeah, just slowly watching this guy die. I believe I sped up this footage extra to make sure this battle didn't take too long. It's pretty good cutting down both of these to 10 minutes, which is pretty solid. Whereas live, this took at least half an hour to 40 minutes maybe, And that was with both battles running at the same time, whereas here we managed to put them end to end with only a little bit of speed up and get it at about 10 or 11 minutes, which is nice. If you're watching the battle as soon as it uploads, it'll be a little bit before I get any more, as I'm just getting this one quickly while I got home from work before I go and do some stuff. I'll try and get the rest of the battles for last turn uploaded probably middle of next week, but it probably won't be till after the season ends that I start getting the bulk of the Brick War battles, especially because some of those are going to need so much editing to deal with all the random crap that happened. Like the super long battle that was Agony where the local weapon controller thread died. That one is going to probably end up being like a 5-minute in-game recording plus a bit of the live recording patched in to have some of the Agony experience firsthand, because one of the in-game recordings also corrupted, so I've just got one of them. Anyway, that is the end of this battle. Thank you all for watching, and I hope everyone has a good weekend if you're watching this live. See ya.